Hello, this is Thomas Reefer, and I am excited to share with you the results of my recent trip to Canada. Casavant's main factory building is this 200-year-old brick structure. Casavant's located south of Montreal, substantially south. It's not right in Montreal. I guess the word would be that it's an exurb. It was very important to me to make this trip, and it was important to me to see how the work was done. Oh, what excitement. This is the great organ. This entire division will face into the congregation. Notice that it has two levels. Up at the top on the right is our trumpet harmonique, and on the next level down is really what makes the organ have breadth and sound and depth and make singing easier. It's called the great organ, and it's centered around the diapason. There's our console. It looks a little naked without the pedal board, and it doesn't have the music rack, but that's definitely the Incarnation console. It does not have the draw knobs installed yet on this side or this side, but when it's put back together, it will look as it's always looked. They polished the wood and made it very attractive. There are the pedals. Those big black pedals are called expression shades, and when I use my foot to move one of those, louvers open. Do you remember attic fans? Think of louvers opening on an attic fan. And those are what control sound in two divisions of the organ. Not the great organ, but the choir and the swell organ. And they're what adds that thrilling sound when suddenly you hear that low rumble and it increases. Alain Gounod is the tonal director at Casavant. He doesn't look old enough to be a tonal director, but he is currently revoicing and making our existing crumhorn sound more clarinet-like, less Germanic, a little more warm. It'll sound more like a clarinet would have sounded in the 1950s organ. Think of him doing this kind of close inspection of 61 pipes. Every rank has 61 pipes, some have 72, but he plays it. There's a keyboard below his hand, and he'll play it, he'll listen to it, and he plays it then in relationship to its neighbors. This is real old world's craftsmanship, and Casavant is the master. While these are not our chests, this is what a wind chest looks like. This is a small one, and it's been built, custom built by Casavant. It looks like it says it's going to contain a tuba stop, but look how beautiful it is. It's ready to ship. Look at the wood. Look at the grain all running in the same direction. This is not done by a machine. This is done by real live human beings. Ah, the electronics. This is 2025 writ large, which is every single pipe in the organ will be terminated to this pin board. This pin board, using its electronics, will enable signal to be transported from the pipe to the console. Every single pipe in a chest, such as we just saw, will be tied back to this pin board. I think this is so beautiful, and to see the French at the top, Foyer des Harmonies, which means the record keeping for the people who are voicing pipes. And this is the record of our pipes being voiced. And Alain coming in, making comments to the voicers, making sure that things are done properly and that it sounds the way he wants it to sound. Do you recall the picture of the great organ at the beginning? Well, when you're building an entire new division, you have to lay out on the floor the structure to which it's attached. This is not our organ. This is a different organ. But for our organ, the same thing would have been created to create the superstructure that holds our great organ together. And I'm going to jump back briefly. Well, I can't jump back, sorry. But that's what everything's attached to. Ah, my friend, the 16-foot diapason. That is a powerful stop. It is 16 feet high. It has no stopper in it. We're looking at it from the backside. And it will go on the south wall of the chamber right next to the great organ. This is a reused pipe set or rank, and it will add the substance, the sense of grounding that an organ has as you listen to it. Here's my friend, the diapason. I've talked about this a lot. This is a reused portion, pipes 1 through 8 or 1 through 12, I'm not sure. Obviously, Aeolian-Skinner built a solid one in 1952. To your right, you can see the open wood stop that I just showed you from the backside. Behind the open diapason are the 4-foot and the 2-foot, all brand new pipes, all brand new. Looking at the great organ from a different side, and remember this whole structure has to be at least 16 feet high. And it was so moving to me to see these people dealing with gear that you can't do this by machine. You can't set up a machine to do this. This is human beings. And Casavant, because it has a generous approach to humanity, has real live people doing this work. Here's one of our chests, completely refurbished. That means every single element of the chest has been redone. The actual chest itself is old. It's good solid wood. Inside it are magnets. Inside it are electric contacts, magnets that pull down under a pipe to allow air to rush in when I press a key. These are called Pitman chests. Pitman chests are required for organs that speak at a reasonably high pressure. Our organ speaks at a reasonably high pressure. So these are Pitman chests, and they were an Aeolian-Skinner trademark, an Ernest M. Skinner trademark. And here is Incarnation's chest, ready to jump on its truck to New York City. This is going to be a lot of fun to hear, but on your right is a stop called the trumpet harmonique, and it speaks on slightly higher pressure. And I hope I'll have the opportunity to use it with other reed stops on the organ to do fanfares, to introduce hymns. This stop has enough strength that when I'm playing full organ, it will be heard above it. And that's what I do when I'm trying to introduce a new hymn, to get you to hear the melody of the new hymn and to support your singing. This is on the top level. And if you look behind it, there's our 16-foot wood. So basically, this is 16 feet off the ground. And here are the guys who made it happen. Our sales representative, who is vice president of Casavant, is Simon Couture, the light blue shirt. On his left is Robert Hiller, who will actually install our organ. Maybe you'll have a chance to come down and shake his hand. He's a fascinating guy, and so is Simon Couture. Next to them is Jens Anderson, and he is a director at the company, And next to him, he handles the logistics, making sure that things are in the right place at the right time. He is profoundly expert at running the factory, which is a full-time job. He's from Denmark and speaks fluent French, as everybody does who's there. And on your right is Alain Gono, the tonal director. He is the individual who decides what this organ will sound like. This was an inspiring trip for me, very inspiring. Canada treats people well, and as a result, you don't see a bunch of very young people doing this highly skilled work. It's a true form of craftsmanship. People sign on and work for this company for their entire lives. That's what you'll hear after the 12th on Monday when the organ is returned, and we'll probably begin to hear bits and pieces of the instrument starting in mid-June. It's going to be really exciting, and I can't tell you how honored I am to have been part of this effort. Signing off now. Au revoir.